Good morning. My name is Rohit Anaya. My thesis is titled Co-working Hub, an architectural platform for a creative collaborative process, Technocity, Trivandrum. Co-working spaces are gaining momentum at a rapid pace all around the world with the emerging trend of a more independent workforce. The future of workplace will focus on informal interaction which leads to economic benefits, knowledge sharing, team building, and job satisfaction. As per a report by real estate consultancy firm CBRE in the first quarter of 2019, the co-working space witnessed a 277% upsurge in leasing to nearly 3 million square feet. It grew up by 70% every quarter. As the startup ecosystem matures, so do the workspaces that startups occupy. Co-working spaces are becoming a primary choice for many new startups and tech companies, especially in the Indian market. Currently, 10% of office spaces are occupied by co-working and these are expected to rise approximately 25%. Thus, the thesis proposes a new built office building near Technocity Trivandrum catering primarily to startups and freelancers. The aim of the project is to create a workplace which can bring innovators and executors with diverse backgrounds, attitudes, and scholar abilities to a common platform so that they meet and exchange ideas. The main objectives are to create chances of encounter through architectural elements like transition spaces, courtyards, atriums, recreations, and open spaces, to create a built environment that encourages creativity and collaboration, and to create a platform to bring innovators and executors together. So, what is co-working? Co-working is basically an arrangement in which several workers from different companies share an office space. It allows cost savings and convenience through the use of common infrastructure like equipments, utilities, receptionists, and custodial services. It is attractive to independent contractors, telecommuting, and work-at-home professionals and people who travel frequently. With the rise of a new independent workforce, the office has switched from a place of production to a place of interaction. The need for physical office space will remain and be shaped by the following trends. Urban integration: large corporations tend to move into the cities. The main reason for this is search for talent as the majority of millennials resides in cities. Also, businesses can increase their brand exposure into the urban fabric. Program influx: a study conducted by Nord Incorporated 2016 predicted that offices will be more casual to create a relaxed and open atmosphere. Surveys show that provision of amenities leads to higher job satisfaction. Horizontality: organizational behavior of companies has shifted from a linear or hierarchical structure to complex network structure. A study by Nord Inc. predicted a rise in group-based work, leadership, dispersion, and non-linear workflow in the next 5 years. Independent workforce: despite the advancement of technology, it is still people who start and drive businesses. Hence, recognizing who the future generation of workers are and how they function is important. The best word to describe future generation would be independence. This can be seen in the increase in freelancers and small independent businesses, as well as small units functioning separately from established parental firms. So, moving on to the site. The site is located adjacent to Technocity Trivandrum, Kerala. Site is taken along the commercial edge proposed in the Technocity Master Plan. It is about 6.8 acres. The Technocity is spread across 500 acres, which includes not just space for IT firms but also residential, commercial, hospitality, medical, and educational facilities. The site is predominantly surrounded by residential areas. Commercial shops are located along the national highway. The site belongs to the land acquired by Technopark for the development of Technocity. So here it is the Technocity master plan, and the site is taken along the commercial space given in the Technocity master plan. So the site is about 17 to 20 kilometers away from the airports. The Technocity master plan includes a bus terminal just inside the Technocity campus near the national highway. The Technocity master plan also includes an area for medical section overtook by KIMS Hospital. So this is the site plan. As you can see, here is the National Highway 66 and here is the entrance to the Technocity campus. The site is heavily contoured of about 9-meter difference from the lowest level to the highest level. The site slopes down from the national highway and the highest point is at the south side, which is about 10 meter up from the lowest point in the site, which is at the west side. The existing vegetation. Site is thickly vegetated with trees and shrubs. There are a predominance of coconut trees in the site. Rubber plantations exist towards the south side in a heavily manner. So these are the site sections that we can see. The site slopes down from the south side. Here is the national highway. The site majorly slopes towards the southwest to the central part. Site slope down from the northwest, northeast and the south side. The water drains towards lower ground. A small rainwater channel exists in the site. Heavy vehicular movement is observed on National Highway 66. The adjacent roads have low vehicular movement. Major views from the site is towards the Technocity and National Highway. Views towards the site can be given from the National Highway and the Technocity. The predominant wind direction is from southwest to northeast. There is a great amount of pollution noise is from the National Highway adjacent to the site. The current entry to the site is from the southwest side. Main entries can be provided from National Highway. Service entry can be provided from the southwest itself. Strengths. Profile of the site helps in natural drainage site. Site profile also helps in directing the wind from southwest into the site. Location of the site near the upcoming Technocity helps in the feasibility of the project. Site being adjacent to National Highway gives an advantage of easy connection of site with two major cities, that is Kollam and Trivandrum. The site is elongated on the east and west sides, which helps in bringing in light and reduce harsh rays from southwest. Weaknesses. Proper water drainage should be designed as water drains through the site from nearby areas. Pollution and noise will be experienced from the adjacent national highway. As the site is sloping from the main road, providing views and vistas towards Technocity will be difficult. Opportunities. As the site is sloping, there is an opportunity for providing basements. Due to the close proximity to Technocity, there is an opportunity for sharing of services and other facilities like bus terminal, medical, recreational, commercial and residential areas. Concept. Collaborative cloud. Major concept of the design is to create a collaborative cloud, which is a void surrounded by spaces for collaboration. The design involves interconnected terraces. Connecting open terraces with interconnecting bridges and stairs increase the chance of collision and collaboration. Gradual transition. There are a gradual transition of spaces from public to semi-public to private spaces as we go from the collaborative cloud to the exterior of the building. The services are to be designed at the southwest side. So this is the master plan. As we can see, here is the National Highway 66 and here is the entrance to the Technocity campus. So I have divided the site into two by providing a pedestrian pathway from the Technocity entrance into the site and to the residential areas. The main vehicular entry is from the national highway. From here, there are two basements, and the ground floor is at the national highway level. The buildings are 4 floors high. Here you can see segregated office spaces, which gives a more into the nature private office. On the north side of the site, I've provided a public space, and above the public space there will be an auditorium. The service entries are provided from the southwest side onto the first basement. The building blocks are divided into 4 blocks mainly by the use of the pedestrian path and the atriums. Coming to the basements, there are 2 basement floors. Basement 1 has the service entry. There is an access. There are 2 stairs from the basements to the ground floors. The grid is 9 meter by 9 meter, and the road width is about 6 meter. This is the first floor. Here, as you can see, here is the pedestrian pathway, and this is the atrium, which is the collaborative cloud. So these divide the building blocks into 4 main blocks, naming the auditorium, the segregated offices, the main co-working spaces, and the common public spaces. Here, from the drop-off entrance, there is a reception and the waiting lounge. And as we go in, we can see a few courtyards, which on the upper floors connects to the open terraces on different levels. All the blocks are connected by bridges on the upper floors. The central atrium is the main collaborating cloud. Here there is a stage, a water body, a mount, and seating spaces. So on the ground floor, towards the block near the national highway, we have a restaurant, an exhibition hall, and the admin offices. And towards the southwest side, we have the co-working spaces, which is provided near the atrium. And as we go to the outside of the block, we have the designated workspaces and the closed workspaces. Here you can see the services are provided. A cafeteria is provided along the open workspaces. The open workspaces are dispersed near the atrium. Here you can see the segregated office spaces, which can be rented out by commercial firms for accommodating teams of people. Along the pedestrian path, I have provided a public space and a drop-off and parking for the auditorium. The auditorium is located on the first floor. Moving to the first floor, we can see here the blocks are connected by bridges. These act as open workspaces and collision spaces where people interact and share ideas. As we can see towards the atrium, I have provided the open workspaces, and towards the exterior I've provided the closed workspaces. And on the first floor we can see the auditorium here. On the first floor towards the block on the near the National Highway, I've provided the library, the gymnasium, the multipurpose hall and the crush room, which can be used by the public too. Moving to the second floor. The second floor is also connected by bridges for all the blocks, and the second floor has more office spaces and open terraces. There is a big conference hall which can be rented by anyone outside the office. The second floor has closed office spaces near the National Highway and a recreational space near the pedestrian path. I have provided open terraces which open up as we go up towards to the top floors. Moving to the third floor, I have given a large open terrace space and a recreational space connected by bridges. As we can see here, the closed workspaces are as the same as from the other plans. The open terraces connect with the courtyards as we go up to the floors. Here above the auditorium I have given a terrace garden which is accessible by the public. So this is the sectional view of the building blocks. Here we can see the bridges connecting on different levels. This is the basement ramp. The building is 4 floors up from the ground level and 2 floors down, which are the basement parkings. This is a section view from the pedestrian path. As you can see here, the terrace garden, the block with the segregated offices and the other open workspaces blocks are all connected with bridges and open spaces. This is a section through the atrium. We can see the bridges here and the open spaces marked here. Here is the heavily contoured part of the site which is thickly vegetated. This is a bird's eye view from the north. You can see the terrace garden, the open recreational space and the bridges. Here is the pedestrian path that starts from the Technocity entrance. From the top view of the site we can see that the roof of the atrium is covered by solar panels. Here the heavily contoured part of the site with thick vegetation. I have provided segregated office spaces which are private. This is a view from the first floor bridge to the atrium. This is a view from the atrium of the bridge. Here there is a stage, there is a mount and a water body. These are the segregated offices at the top of the contours, completely away from the rush of the other blocks. This is a view of the atrium and the pedestrian path from nearby the public space. This is the view from the pedestrian entry This is the public space below the auditorium. Here we can see the auditorium block, and the terrace garden is connected by bridges from the other blocks. This is the view of the pedestrian entry from the northwest, that is from the residential areas. Special topic: collaborative spaces. Role of transition of privacy in collaborative workspaces. Collaborative spaces are an important factor in the design of co-working spaces. Collaborative spaces help in creating innovative new ideas and products by the interaction of innovators and executors with diverse cultural backgrounds, attitudes, and scholar abilities. These collaborative spaces can be differentiated by transition of privacy in each space. Once an idea is shared, individuals work in teams or seclude themselves from others to boost productivity and avoid distraction, as we can see here. At first, the ideas are shared, then the ideas are refined by teams, then the product is given an individual work, and the individual works are finally combined to get the final product. So as we can see here, with maximum collaboration towards the public space and the semi-public spaces, the teams can work together, and on the private spaces they can work individual with maximum concentration. So I've taken Google headquarters as my case study, and I've identified 13 spaces that they have provided for boosting collaboration. So here transition of privacy is carried out in the design. The design of Googleplex was done by identifying 13 types of spaces for collaborating and differentiating them according to their transition in privacy. As we can see from this chart, there are 13 spaces, and the spaces that are marked hottest gets the maximum collaboration, and the 13, which is the workroom, is the most private workspace. So this is the plan of Google headquarters. As you can see here there is a street, a public realm they have created, and the collaborative spaces decreases as we go towards the exterior of the building. So my special topic was about identifying these spaces and studying about them. So the 13 spaces and the characteristics are: the first space, which is the most collaborative, are the clubhouse. These spaces are done for nomadic work. They have high opportunity for chance encounters. Then there is a bakery or coffee shop, which is a space for active nomadic work. There is a high opportunity for chance encounters and collaboration. Then there is a supper club, which have alternative dining setting for focused collaborative work. Then there is a conference room for focus space for larger collaborative groups. It has projection capabilities and whiteboards. Then there is a library for the quiet nomadic work and a visitor workspace. Then there is an bar, which promotes active nomadic work and a visitor workspace. The terraces contain quite alternative nomadic work and a visitor workspace. Then there is an open meeting, which includes quiet nomadic work, visitor workspace, and promotes team collaboration. There is an open huddle room for team collaboration. Then there is a closed meeting room, focus space for collaboration. It has whiteboards, projection capabilities. Then there is huddle rooms, which are quiet nomadic work spaces focused collaboration space. Then there are workstations for quiet resident work, and the furniture can be reconfigurable according to the team needs. Then at last, the 13th space is the workroom for quiet resident work. The furnitures are reconfigurable and it has panelized framing systems to accommodate joining offices for bigger teams. Thank you.